Okay, this is the actual day 4 of Vimana chess tournament where is it? Yeah. So we'll be covering round 7 and round 8. Okay, we'll be covering, okay. Yeah. So here's the scenario. I was actually against Pad against 178 this guy's profile is actually decent. Yeah, this is actually a tough tournament. Yeah, everybody's actually kind of strong. So yes, okay. So I played with E4 for the D6. Actually, yeah, in the scenario, I was actually kind of happy. Why am I actually happy? The thing is, whenever I'm actually padding and fluorated, I used to play d6, so I'm actually pretty familiar how to play, how to handle these type of players. I know what type of position is actually kind of hard to play from black. So I'm for d4, g6, f4, bishop d7, and f3, a6. Okay, here a6 doesn't make any sense. I seriously don't and don't know what is actually going on. Oh yeah, I expected I should c5 break, so at least you'll be having some kind of center control. That's the idea of the c5 break. So here for bishop c4, I was thinking a little bit whether knight c3 first or bishop c4. I mean bishop c4. So I was actually not kind of sure, and for bishop c4 anyways, e6. Okay, if you see a black pawn structure, it's not actually doing much. The central control is that there's not much of a central control. So what I was actually thinking is no matter, I mean, my piece, I mean, is Tasker bishop is actually good. That one thing to observe, and I have no idea what type of portion is this. I'm actually kind of seeing this actually quite new. So how am I supposed to break this portion? So that's a really good question, right? So I thought about an adjustment for knight c3. So the idea behind knight c3, if we should pushes right, I can either take and go for a pawn up, or if you go for something like this, like a solid stretch, right? The one thing which I had in mind is I'm not going to take any pawn. The other thing with knight c3 is actually I was actually expecting b5, bishop b3, b4, some kind of queen set expansion and double fianchetto. So I was actually giving actually my opponent to a chance to complicate things and also activate the pieces. I mean, not actually. It looks like my opponent pieces are getting activated, but there's not much thing actually going for bishop b3 immediately because there's bishop b7 coming. I mean, if I go for bishop b6, right, after kicking the knight, he'll be going for bishop b7. So probably I'm actually forced to play d5. Yes, he can simply take bishop takes knight. I mean, not bishop takes knight, probably pawn takes pawn, some kind of exchange, and his queen line will be open or something like that. I thought a bit. The reason, okay, let me explain what will be actually going on. What I thought is bishop b6, b5, knight e2, bishop b7. Okay, I have queen d3 here. I didn't think about queen d3. So what I thought was here, yeah, bishop takes knight, pawn takes bishop, takes. I mean, he doesn't need to take. He can simply develop it, develop the pieces here. If he wants, he can actually lock this one. So the idea behind locking this pawn is this should be also equal. Okay, and the idea behind locking this pawn is once he locks this pawn, he can go for bishop f8, trying to break for c5. So I always tell right when you are playing from black, Dasko bishop is actually kind of strong. When you are playing from white, Lightsko bishop is actually kind of strong. I mean compared to the other bishop. So here after d5, bishop f8, right? At least my opponent bishop has somewhere to go. I mean, I mean, right now in after d5, this bishop looks like locked, but at least he has some kind of future plans. But for me, my let's go bishop's not going anywhere. That's kind of issue. One thing I can do is I can play c3, bishop c2 like an Italian game, but in this type of pawn structure, this bishop is not going to do anything. So if anybody's kind of attacking, it will be black. So and for bishop b3, bishop b7, castle c5 expected, pawn takes pawn, d5, e5. Here I was actually kind of happy. So he have c4. So here I can simply go for bishop e2, bishop e. If actually this one looks actually better. Yeah. Generally I will go for the let's go bishop, but here this position actually kind of too better. The reason is my knight is actually jumping all over the area, and this knight can't be kicked out by anything. That's another huge issue for black. I mean, after exchanging the rook, right? Okay, how are you going to kick this knight out? You don't know where my knight is going. Let's see for yeah, it is like an octopus knight. That that's what they call this type of knight. It can go for 8 different places and controlling 8 different squares. You really can calculate actually each the move order for each and every move. So which means I'll be kind of winning. So in for queen c7, for knight here, same the octopus sister. Here also you can go for c4. Here I check first. King e2, probably bishop d4. This should be better. Okay, agent wants me to sack. Okay, yeah, I got the idea. Oh, I mean seriously, how was this session winning? Okay. Oh, okay. May all the pieces are getting active. Okay, this is a really good idea. I'm just analyzing it now. Hmm. Okay. Nice to see few things. Bishop f8. Yeah, here I thought a bit. Okay, what are the ideas? Yeah, I told you right. My even my online Raska, my opponent's Raska bishop looks kind of actually locked. My opponent all can always go for bishop f8 and try to go for bishop c4 and try to activate this bishop. The thing is, he doesn't need to castle immediately because my pieces are not doing things much. So the reason behind the plus 0.9, even my piece is not doing much because firstly, if you observe this one actually kind of differently, if my opponent want to attack my pieces or not, crush my king set or a queen set or anything else, he needs some kind of few moves. The real question is if I'm actually playing some kind of accurately, I can actually hold these type of players easily. Bishop f8, the idea behind the actual c4 is actually a really good idea. I had some kind of pretty much ideas. Oh, something as b3. This is one idea, but I really didn't like it. After takes. Yeah, I'm literally hanging the piece. Even still, according to engine, this game is zero by zero. It is actually kind of really hard to play uh from white actually. So yeah, the other move which I thought was rookie one, c4, bishop f8, something like this. But what's the point? What's the point? What are we should basically trying to do? But the idea behind c4 is you literally lock everything. So firstly, I'm sacrificing this pawn temporarily. Secondly, okay. The other idea is after taking this pawn, right? I'm having queen a4 check, and I can simply take this pawn, or I can go for bishop c2. I mean, it depends. But after taking, I mean, yeah, bishop c2 is the best move. I don't know. I do have the feeling bishop c2 is the best move. But what I really don't like about this position is after bishop c2, right? You can simply play c3. Yeah, engine can simply go for. I clearly miss these type of ideas actually. Yeah, but I really don't. At one point, my pawn needs to go to the c3. I really didn't like that position much. So that is the only reason I went for queen a4. Knight queen takes. Okay. Here's the thing. After knight b6, my opponent pieces looks like actually kind of active, but it's not actually doing much. I will explain you. The idea behind knight b6, if you actually move my queen, he's actually trying to force this one. If I go for queen c3, he tries to push this pawn, and once my bishop is getting disconnected, there will be bishop c4 check, queen c4 check, bishop takes knight. There are so many things actually going on the board. And for queen c2, c4, which is kind of expected. Here I went for b3, which is a top engine move. So he's firstly he thought he was actually kind of attacking. Now it's actually now this position is actually kind of in a different scenario. I don't know rook c8 is actually coming. So rook c8, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, rook b8. So the idea behind is probably like I have some kind of sacrificing in the future. So yeah, I just want to make sure the I'm actually keeping my ideas open. So okay, yeah. He has one thing which I thought was bishop e3. Uh, Here what I thought was yeah. Here I wanna rook queen takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen check, king f8, queen takes. This is one variation which I thought in my mind. So the other variation was knight a6 check, queen check. Okay, what happened if you go for king f8, right? I have queen takes rook. So king e8, knight takes queen check. So this is another idea. I mean, probably I would have seen this one if he went for bishop a3. So after a long king, he went for bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop. I was actually kind of pretty happy here. Bishop c4, king h1, knight b6. Okay, this is a move number 20, which I clearly remember that what was actually going on is he had about 3 minutes. I had about 50 minutes. This is the scenario. I mean, after 30 or 40 minutes, you won't be getting the 30 minutes or 40 minutes. This just he should be playing the entire game with 3 minutes. So here the things started going wrong because I was actually trying to put some pressure on my opponent in the clock. So okay, the reason is firstly I was actually kind of tired. I mean mentally tired. I was actually playing this last 6 rounds right. Probably I was actually tired. The thing is, I'm playing against almost every round was actually kind of strong opponent. I mean even this round is actually stronger opponent. So mentally I was not actually kind of having any type of break. So I was actually I just want to finish this game as soon as possible. I do know I had some kind of advantage in the middle game. I mean in this position I do know I had some kind of advantage. So yeah, but I was my mentally I was actually kind of tired. That's another issue. Knight h6. So here's the thing. I can go for simply queen takes pawn. He here he can simply castle or he can go for yeah. I'll be in just a pawn up scenario. Yeah. So, but I didn't do it for some reason. In general, I would have gone for queen a6. This looks simpler, but I had some kind of long thing, probably for 5 6 minutes for bishop d3. The idea behind this, I just want to exchange this task of bishop, and I don't want this knight to keep on jumping to this castle rook here, knight here. So I thought at initial point I thought his bishop was actually kind of trapped, but yeah, knight a4, which was really good. He was actually kind of getting luckier. I couldn't do much. So if let's say we go for here, right? I had rook here, trying to crush my opponent pieces. So yeah, okay, that is some kind of survival here. I didn't think much, but I had some really different type of ideas here. Yeah, I did saw bishop b2, but I was not kind of sure. Bishop b2, rook b1, something like this. Okay, what I thought was bishop takes one. Yeah, I was actually kind of tired. I couldn't even think simple moves, especially my opponent was in under 40 seconds, 50 seconds. I just want to move something quickly. I just went for queen takes aces blankly, which I should have not done. So here's one of the most simple move. Simple move, bishop here. So yeah, nothing should be going wrong, right? What I did was I did something really stupid, which was queen takes nut. I mean, this is really stupid. You don't want to activate your opponent bishop just because you have a pawn up. So yeah, the things are actually going really messy. I had a feeling I'm actually kind of slipping. I don't know, but I just couldn't control. I had about 20, 30, 40, 30, 30 to 40 minutes, but mentally I was actually kind of down. I couldn't think much. So here went for this one. This move was no plan. Honestly, this move I just played because I just need to move something. I generally don't do this, but this is just horrible. Yeah, here what I thought was I thought was this one. After this move, I seriously didn't have any plan. So I just yeah, probably I should have gone for this one, but yeah, mentally I was actually kind of down. This is the moment I pretty sure I just screwed up the entire game. I thought I was actually completely losing this portion because there is knight f2 you can't do anything. Okay, let me tell you the point of a knight f2. After knight f2, my check my piece is hanging. Let's say I'm actually moving this piece somewhere like here. So here also same knight f2, king g1. Now my rook is hanging. So I hope you got the point. So one way or other, my pieces are actually getting hanging. So here's the only thing I was doing. This I was actually thinking for 15 minutes, which was completely unnecessary because I know I was actually kind of losing in this portion. Rook f1 takes g3. So here my opponent had probably 20 or 10 seconds. I was pretty sure. Okay, hopefully, my opponent blunders. I was seriously angry with me. I just couldn't concentrate at all. I was completely angry with me. Rook c1 here, bishop here. Okay, knight g4. The idea is uh, to go for the sack, knight a8 c6. So, this idea was from the beginning. Let me tell you from where I was actually planning. No, not from here. Yeah. From here, I was actually planning this type of sacrifice, bishop takes g6, and after a knight takes e6. Yeah. So something like this. I mean, there are so many sequences here. So from the move number 10, I was actually thinking this one. So here, I mean, while I was thinking those lines, the problem is I clearly couldn't find a clear cut way to win. Even if I actually exploited the kingside position, like a kingside is actually too open, my piece is not actually coordinating perfectly to a checkmate. So that's what I was actually trying from the beginning, which didn't work. So the reason because I played here because I just want to make sure I just don't want to lose. Trying for a draw here, even in this position, this doesn't work. Let's say I got a free move, I just went for knight e6, right? After you can simply go for king h8. Nothing basically going on. So this just a dumb attempt, and my opponent was actually having 20 to 50, 20 25 seconds. The idea behind this attempt is okay. My opponent might think this might be a threat. He might actually lose on time or something like that. Just I was just playing something really. Yeah, my plans are actually kind of stupid. Mm, yeah, I did so there is a queen takes pawn. I did start the board, but since my opponent was at the time pressure, he just went for bishop g2. This was also not a bad move. Seriously, this was also not a bad move. I just went for bishop g2. Now the idea being bishop g2, my queen covers this. My queen actually covers this pawn. So before this, he had this move, right? Yeah. Okay. So now I'm having some kind of checkmate sequence again. So what I did was I went for f5, queen h5, takes. This is completely winning. I can't do anything. Basically, I just can't do anything. I mean, the only hope is this pawn. Clearly, you can simply go for rook e1 or something like this. So, and for g4, the idea I'm trying to do is just trying to make a double pawn. So after making a double pawn, I can go for sacrificing and push or something in the future. I hoping that I might get something in the future. Even for stupid bishop e3, this is really bad move. He just simply should have taken this pawn. This is what I thought I should thought initially. He should have simply taken this pawn, or he can go for h6 also. Yeah, yeah, I saw h6 also. H6 even I didn't like it. Okay, not this one. Yeah, after check. Yeah. I mean, this is really good for black. I should probably resign in this question. I can't do anything in this question. So once you have bishop e3, I know I had some good chances here. Takes. Okay. What I think why he played this one is bishop e3. Once I take this pawn, bishop takes knight. King takes. What he thought was, I think rook g3 and take this pawn, bishop. But the thing is, he still didn't take this h2 pawn, which means the h2 pawn actually covers the g3 square. I think he miscalculated in last 20 or 10 seconds. So I took it. Takes. This is really stupid. Pretty sure this position is such a kind of equal, almost equal. So I mean, taking this pawn is such a kind of stupid. He even after f6, right? I can't checkmate him, but I had some kind of ideas like bishop here and rerouting my rook to here or something, but it takes too much time. Basically, he should be defending this one easily. If worst case scenario, he should give this rook for this bishop. Still, he should be winning. I mean, when he should be giving is he should be probably taking this a pawn and a h pawn for free, and after that, he should be giving for rook for bishop. He should be winning in that end game. So something like that. If he is really too scared, he should be having that type of ideas, not this one. And for bishop e5, I'm not taking this pawn. Look, the advantage goes because yeah, he'll be getting this pawn for free. Rook here, bishop here, rook takes pawn. This is clearly bad. After this, there will be h5 push, a4 push. This pawn is not going anywhere. Double rook versus rook bishop. Probably you'll be losing for sure. Go bishop b5. So he can go for rook here. So now the idea which I was having is a king f6, e6. There were so many ideas. So I really didn't care about this pawn anymore. So in for rook c5, rook supporting this bishop. So I can go for bishop here, but I will losing a crucial pawn. This pawn is actually more important for to hold the game for a draw. So yeah, I'm for rook here. The idea behind is just to put some kind of pressure. So, and I'll be getting this pawn for free one way or other. So, bishop pawn versus rook is actually really good compensation in this position because these two pawns are not doing anything. This is not an outside passer. So, if anybody's having a passer, it is only me. So, I was actually kind of pretty sure that I'm doing much better in the situation. So, yeah, rook c8. Okay, e6 is a blunder for some reason. Yeah, I thought of a4, but this entire game, right, since he is actually playing in similar 10 to 20 seconds, the maximum amount of time which I use for 2 to 3 minutes maximum. Other than that, I didn't use anything because you don't want your opponent to think in on your time and want to make some kind of better moves. So, which is actually making some kind of suicide. And for e6, rook here. This position I thought for 4 5 minutes. The reason is I have e takes f7, I have e7, I have king here. So I was not sure which one to move. But the funniest part is the best move was I should simply take the rook takes rook. And I did figure that one out after the 3 to 4 minutes. And I spent another 4 minutes to confirm each and everything. And for rook takes rook, pawn push. The reason this one is such a kind of good move is because his king can't come here. That's seriously very very good. So rook here, bishop c4, going for this one. Now he needs to go give this rook for this pawn, which means I'll be bishop for this pawn and two versus two. This pawn is an outside passer. This should be easy winning. Easy winning. He can't stop any scenario. Let's say he push this pawn for the example. I am pushing, takes, and he started to push. I can simply go for bishop here, which covers the f1 square, which means I was actually kind of winning. So he resigned on this position. He can't do anything. I mean, whatever he tries to do, we're probably losing. Okay, why not rook here? The idea is I can simply go for bishop c4 again. The I can simply sack this one. So the idea here is after rook takes, pawn takes, it will be a queen here. So that will check king here, queen takes rook. Yeah, and there should be another mating 4 or mating 5. So this game went well. I mean, my opening middle game was actually good, and the later middle game is horrible. End game was I was kind of lucky I didn't get mated on any scenarios. So yeah, this is what happened to me. So actually observing this game, right? Actually, what should be you be knowing me if you guys are playing in a professional tournaments. The one thing you need to know is this is actually kind of huge money. You are mentally down, which means don't expect results from another future rounds. You are down. you need at least 2 to 3 weeks of recovery to play a really good game. So the game, this is a evening game. I thought I was actually kind of fresh. I ate well, I slept well, but it is what it is. So yeah, C4. I was actually desperately trying to convert this portion to King's Indian, but unfortunately she's not actually trying for any D4. She's trying to go for E4 F4, which will be whatever I play, right. This will be going for some kind of English line which she will be knowing. So she was actually once on 8-6, and she was actually playing pretty quickly, and I was too tired. That's another issue. But if I this is some kind of say English opening which I really have no idea. This is the stage which I understood that I can't depend on King's Indian for each and every opening like in C4 and D4. So I definitely need to prepare something for C4. I did prepare something this time like a reverse dragon. Hopefully I should playing that in my next tournament if I really have some kind of any money, because I'm in some kind of bankrupt scenario and I really don't have a job to. So I hope one one day, yeah, I'm pretty sure my friends are actually kind of saving me from from nothing actually. So I was actually playing some. Okay, the night at on FIDE was basically from King's Indian. Just don't ask me what is actually going on. There are so many things actually going on. I can't even calculate. She was actually playing pretty fast. She was into preparation, and plus I was actually tired. Knight comes here, c6. C6 I thought for a long time, very very long time. So this the moment she was actually start to think. F takes c4. Okay. Okay. R- Instead of rook takes f1, right? Actually, b6 c5 was my initial idea. After b6, she can actually go for here, which is a this is actually losing for white actually. I can simply take the queen or queen takes pawn. Yeah, anything. I should not be losing. So here, right? I know b6 was the best move. So b after b6, bishop takes knight, queen here, pawn push, queen backs, something like this. You need to play something defensive. Let me tell you, bishop b6. Uh, yeah, I this is not an issue. I can simply take this pawn. This is clearly not an issue for me. This position I'm pretty sure I can handle it. So the other thing was d6, queen here maybe. No, I should queen here. I mean something like this. Okay, bishop d2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to play something defensive like this. For some reason I just blunder on the spot. She just played for rook and I should probably resign in this position. I can't do anything here. I mean, this portion was actually dead last. I was actually playing in some kind of angry mode. I can't do anything. I mean, if you actually compare my first 6 games, right? You know how tired I am in I'm in this game. I should not be losing this type of people here, but I just couldn't concentrate on anything. Yeah, yeah, I just I mean I told you right. Rook bishop in this position against queen is really not a good not a good way to play. So where give me queen? Yeah. If you look at this position, my opponent bishop is good, our knight is good, queen is good. My rook is sleeping, bishop is sleeping, bishop is sleeping. Okay, I have one check. Okay, this knight is fine. Okay, what is this two bishop is doing? So if my bishop is here and rook is here and this pawn is here, maybe I can try something. Not right. Yeah, that would be a really good fight. Okay, let me illustrate my point. So let me go for knight here, pawn push, knight here, pawn push, knight here, pawn push. let's go for push-up here. So this question, I told you right. This question, I know I can fight something. Pretty sure I can fight something. Yeah. This question should be. This type of question is fine for a rook bishop against a queen. Not this question. Because if you see the activity, my piece are not doing anything. That's a huge issue. So that I'll be covering when I'm free about day number 5 of Vimana chess tournament. Right, I'm not doing that. If I'm not, yeah, I'm actually talking for a long time. Right, yeah, probably for 30 minutes. So yeah, the tournaments I started really well. I played really well for 7 rounds. 8th round is fine. Opening is fine. Middle game, luckily, I mean, without even any preparation, I played a middle game decent, but I just blundered on the spot because of my tiredness. I just couldn't do anything. It is what it is. Round number 9 was day number 5 of Vimana chess tournament. So that was also not ended very well, but I thought I was actually winning at some kind of point. I made a blunder in the opening and I blundered in the end game also. Yeah, the things didn't go well. The ending was pretty horrible for me in the tournament. But overall, I did increase my rating of for about 15 points, I think 15 to 20 points. Okay, but I learned so many things. I know what to prepare for next tournament. So right now, yeah, I'll be playing. I hope I'll be playing the Delhi tournament, which is actually happening in this month end. If I have some better money, so I approximated that it will be taking around 30,000. So I'm actually having around 20 to 25k, not 25, 20k in my bank account. Um, which I have no job. That's another issue, right? So which means I'm not having any type of income. So what I'm actually trying to do is I'm actually trying to plan to play a poker tournament. So if I win some kind of a huge amount, so I'm trying to play a daily tournament. Otherwise, I've been a bankrupt scenario, hoping my friends will be saving my life until I get the next job. Yeah, things are really going bad for me. That is one of the reason which I couldn't do the recap actually soon because my problem from the past month, from August and September just started, but August month went really bad. So yeah, it is what it is. Hmm.